I think everyone looks like they have everything. We're waiting on a few more folks to pepper their way in, but we use all the props this afternoon. So we'll have, I suggested blanket because we'll be spending some time balancing on the head, getting some weight on the knees so you can grab a cushion, a couple blocks. We'll have some time to roll also, so there's some therapy balls in the white baskets here, and then also a strap. And I can bring you things as we start to get moving about in a couple minutes. I like the shirt. It's very colorful. I love it. Have you observed before? First time?
I did like
Okay.
back I observed.
Oh, that's right. I remember. Great. So you know the drill.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. Today will be a little non-traditional because we're finishing the chakra series. So if any of the prompts don't apply, not my fault. Hi Molly, how you doing? Hello, how are you?
Because I strained my shoulder
Oh.
and back and radiating pain.
No.
I've been practicing for 2 weeks and I'm just gonna go better.
Yes. Do anything that you need to. Anything make it worse or better?
Sitting,
Worse.
practicing worse. Sitting would just, I can't sit for like 20 minutes straight. It's better today.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, I trust you. Do your own thing. Call me over if you have any needs. Good to see you. Yeah. In the back, Melanie. Right on time. Hi, how are you? Good. I saw your name on there and I was like waiting for coming up the stairs. Yay. It works. Hi, how are you? Good. Quiet today in here. I feel like in the Tuesday night class last week, there's chatter. But Monday afternoon is even keeled. We'll start in a couple of moments. There's still plenty of time. We're waiting on a few more people, but if you need anything, I can bring you over some props, but we'll use all of them. Therapy balls, a strap, the blanket. I was saying to Bernadette earlier, I don't have an agenda with the bolsters, but you can always grab one to use in any way that you so choose. And some blocks will also be helpful, but we'll start soon. Did you guys hear? I told you about it last week. You can feel free to tune me out. We haven't officially started yet, but bingo is happening at the studio. Has anyone participated in it? Bingo, yoga bingo, which I just adore. These cards there's some downstairs, there's some upstairs. from when I told you about it last week, I did not get any further information. Last week I was like, I don't know when the deadline is. I don't know what happens. I don't know any follow-up information. I just know there's bingo, and you can enter up to 4 times. And on this paper where I'm getting information from, 3 winners will get a free month of yoga class. And not to project, but you have your freebie in the middle, and the one right next to it is Love's 3 Queens. So that's 2 for 2. But if you are interested, or you know someone who might be, I didn't realize how into bingo I was until the bingo cards showed up. But they're up here, there's some downstairs. Feel free to grab them, pass them out. You just, I think, check it yourself. Honor system. There's a whole bunch of squares on it, so it's books your class ahead, example. Same class, same week, example. Shavasana. Used blocks. Went upside down. We're going to do that today, so you get 1 check already. But I think it's both things that you did in class, and then also write a Google review. No. Not yet. That is correct. After looking at the 3 that I see right now, they are all the same. Yes. So, you know, adaptive bingo. But the cards are here if and when you so desire. All right, good to see you all. Hi, Claire. How are you? Nice to see you. We'll start now. While you're getting comfortable, I can bring you over some props. And I think I know I've seen or recognized or have met almost everyone, but just in case I didn't officially get to say hi, I know everyone, but my name is Anisha. It was last week. It is this week again. And it will be next week too. So thank you for coming. Some quick announcements. One, you might notice a friend in the front of the room. We are at the portion of our 200-hour training where we're in our observation portion of the training. So in some of the public classes that you might be going to at the studio, I don't think that's on the bingo card, so you don't get a check for it, but those that are in the program are asked to observe the class. And just as a reminder, I am in the hot seat, you are not. Josie is taking notes to make sure that everything that I am saying is clear, making sense, writing down the sequence, but you're more than welcome to say hi or let her fade into the curtains and say hi to her later, because this weekend is the final weekend of our training program, where on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it's all on the schedule. There's a whole list of classes that are all donation-based, that are co-taught and co-created by a group who's in the program itself. So you get to see the fruits of 9.5 months of work and delight and passion all come to existence over the weekend. So, Josie. Okay, so all of that being said, today, 7 weeks, we finished it. Some of us have been together for all of them, for some of them, for none of them, but over the past 7 weeks, I've been teaching in the public classes chakras, or these energetic wheels of energy that we have in our own body and being. And I always like to say, if you miss one or all of them or none of them, you're not behind, you haven't missed anything. There's always places to enter and to see different aspects of yourself more clearly. But today we come to the thesis of them all. Yeah, you get the doctorate in the chakras after today's class. Crown of the head is the one we're working towards today. So as a quick reminder, each of the chakras has an elemental quality that they're associated with, a color that they're associated with, and they become just a little portal or a keyhole through which you get to access different regions of your body. So we did the base of the spine, that earth element, the hips in water, the belly with the element of fire. A couple of weeks ago, we did the heart, the element of air. 2 weeks ago was the throat, the element of sound, and last week, in between the eyebrows, was the element of sight. And now this week, we come up to the very crown of the head. In Sanskrit, this chakra is called Sahasrara Chakra, which in English translates to thousand-fold. So if you ever look at symbols or imagery of the chakras, they're all represented by a flower, a lotus flower specifically. And the lower you are in the chakras, the less petals they have. So the first chakra starts off with 4, then you go to 8, and so on and so forth, until you come to the crown of the head. And this is the place of the thousand-fold lotus. And the color that it's associated is with white or rainbow. Thank you, thank you. I bought the shirt many years ago just for this class, and it's still working. And the element of this chakra is that of thought. So this is a chakra that, I can give you all the explanations and definitions and textbook words of what this chakra is and means, but it's a chakra that is meant to be experienced. It's meant to be lived. But something to consider and think about is this is the gateway to something greater than just yourself. And it's the way that the divine, or any word for divine that you're looking to fill in, it's the way the divine pours itself into you. It's not just a one-way portal. It's the way that you begin to experience yourself as bigger than yourself, and how the entire world and the universe is contained in the mind itself. We together? Monday at 12? Food for thought. Today, I have a lot to share about it, but the way the class is going to go today, we'll take a few rounds of pranayama. We're moving towards variations of headstand, Shirshasana, and seeing what it's like to get weight on the crown of the head. And then we'll close in a guided meditation that I really invite you to, the whole class, follow the rhythms of your own pace. But chakra number 7, the thousand-fold lotus, the way in which you begin to see something greater than you, and how the greatness of you begins to experience yourself. So let's see where it takes us. Come to begin in a comfortable seat, please, however that looks for you. You might be seated cross-legged or on your knees. If you are in a seat, I really invite you to sit up on any gentle propping onto the edge of your blanket or your bolster, or even onto your block, so that the hips can come a little higher than the knees. Your low back can lift and lengthen, and you'll stack the deck in your own favor. And as your hands fall anywhere they fall, into your lap or resting onto your thighs, allow for your eyes to soften or close so you can listen for your own breath. When you close your eyes, it's a moment in time to see yourself more clearly than before. To see every version of you that has existed until now. The you that you were, the you that you are, and the you that you continue to become into. They all exist in this form. So with your eyes soft and that attention turned slightly more inward, can you listen and notice that thread of your breath? The breath that connects every version and aspect of yourself together. Noticing the cool air as it comes in through your nose. And the warmth of your exhale as you offer the breath out through your nose or parted lips. Continue with a few more breaths just on your own. Letting each soft and steady breath move in and down so it fills you up. And each exhale offers itself up and out as your outer body softens. The corners of your lips, your shoulders, and even the tips of your fingers. The entire universe is contained here in your mind. And these moments of pause, of listening for your breath, is time to see yourself as the entire universe. So as we begin our practice and our time together with 3 more rounds of that breath, give yourself a moment to place your hands to center anywhere that feels for you, somewhere on your body or in front of your heart in a moment of self-reverence. As you wait for your next inhale, let it fill you up completely. And exhale to offer all of that breath out. 2 more times, just on your own. At the bottom of your breath, pause for even a moment. Take notice of that difference that comes when you listen for and remember your own breath. And as you keep that attention inward, let your hands slowly release as you blink your eyes open to welcome yourself back into the room. Let's stay seated for a moment longer. So if your ankles are crossed, you might switch which shin or ankle is on top. Just get a bit more into the neck and shoulders. So let yourself sit up nice and tall and gently bring your right hand to the top of your head. Instead of to the hairline or the back of the skull, bring it to the very center, middle of the skull. And now push your head up into your palms to grow a little taller. Now keep that as you drop your right ear towards your right shoulder, and your left hand might slide down toward, or your right hand might slide down towards your left ear. Instead of pushing your head down, create a little resistance. Push your head up into the right fingertips, and then use your fingertips to lengthen the head away from that left shoulder. You might stay here. You might slowly reach your left arm to the side with your palm up or down. But take a full breath in to notice this muscle in the side of the neck and then the upper back. And as you exhale, slowly release your hand and draw your head back through center. You might notice any difference from side to side or stay still. And for the second round, bring your left hand to the top of the head. Try to get taller first. Press your head up into your palm. And now keep that as you let your left ear get heavier towards the left shoulder. Your left hand might slide towards that top right ear, but creating a little bit of resistance, push your head up into the palm. Like you're palming a basketball, use your fingertips to lengthen the head away. And a moment to explore. You might even open and close the mouth, reach your right arm off to the side, but a big breath in through the nose, and a softer breath out through your nose or mouth. As you release your hand, draw your head back through center. Take notice of any difference as you make your way forward to tabletop to start to link your breath and movement together. You might bring your blocks to frame out the front corners of your mat. Perhaps you use them as we start to move about. But in today's table, do bring your hands as wide as your mat. Spread your fingers. You might have a blanket underneath your knees as you bring your knees under your hips and curl all 10 of your toes under. Now I invite you to close or soften your eyes as you take a big breath in through your nose and even open your mouth to offer all of that breath out. Linking your breath and movement, begin to take a few rounds of cat and cow, slowly rounding and arching your spine, moving at your pace with the fluency of your breath. Let's go for 5 more breaths here, just on your own. And as always, if it feels sweeter or more appropriate to stay in the rounded or arched shape for a few extra breaths, please feel free to do so. But take this time to not just see how your body moves on its own, but how your breath and your body can harmonize together to see what's happening under the surface. Take one more round of breath anywhere you are, and a deeper breath out through your nose or mouth. As you come back to table, find your neutral spine. Watch for any neighbors or props behind you as we'll take a calf stretch. Reach your right leg back, curl the right toes under, and reach back through the right heel to notice what you feel in the back of the leg. Now you might keep your heel still. You might slowly rock it back and forth. But think as your heel goes back, can you reach the very top of your head forward so that the back and sides of your neck can grow longer? After a few breaths on this first side, take all the time you need to switch. Bend your right, reach back through the opposite heel. See what you're working with on side two as you take a long breath in through your nose and a deeper breath out through the nose or mouth, growing longer through the very crown of your head. Come back to table, find your neutral spine one more time. And as you walk your hands a handprint forward of your shoulders, bring your knees a few inches behind your hips. Begin to curl your toes under and take it back to downward facing dog. All the breaths and all the time you need to find your way there. Now, as we're moving towards a variation of inversion today, a reminder that anytime your head is below your chest, just like it is right now, you're inverted. So can you notice, even here, what is the quality of your breath? Try to slow down your next breath in and lengthen the exhale out as you maybe stay still or slowly pedal your heels one at a time from side to side. When you find the bottom of your breath, begin to lift both heels. Soften your knees, peek forward, and one foot at a time, walk your feet up towards your palms to come into your forward fold. Those blocks might be right there to gather your resources available to you. Your hands might come onto blocks out in front of your feet. You might widen your feet an inch or two, or soften your knees to help you bow in towards yourself. But if it feels okay for your neck and shoulders, even gently nod your head yes, and slowly nod your head no, feeling what gravity can do for the back and sides of the neck. A bigger breath in and a deeper breath out. Now, after a few breaths with your hands to your hips, stand through your legs, and a slow inhale brings you up to rise as your hands come down by your sides. Let your feet be right under your hips. Let your toes point straight ahead. And on an inhale, reach your arms forward and up to the sky. As you exhale, soften your knees, hinge from your hips to fold. Inhale to lengthen halfway, hands to your blocks or shins as you reach your heart forward. And on your exhale, fold, plant your palms, step it back to plank pose, the top of your push-up. With your knees up or lowered behind your hips, take a few extra breaths in your plank. Without moving your legs, can you energetically hug your thighs, your shins, your feet towards each other? And now without moving your hands, hug your palms towards each other. Feel the forearms ignite. Slide your ears back so your head is in line with your chest. Take a full breath in. And on your exhale, begin to bend your elbows to lower all the way down to your belly. With those hands as wide as your mat, inhale to rise for cobra or baby cobra as you lift your chest. And on your exhale, take it back to downward facing dog, tabletop, or puppy pose for 3 breaths at your pace. The 7th chakra, Sahasrara chakra, where the 1,000-fold lotus resides. Where for each petal that unfurls, there's another 1,000 waiting to greet them, a never-ending blooming at the very crown of the head. So as you take a slow breath in through your nose anywhere you are, let your exhale permeate this way out through every direction of you, and notice how your body shifts around your breath. At the bottom of your exhale, take your time, lift your heels, soften your knees, peek forward, and come forward, feet to your hands into your forward fold. As you inhale, come up halfway to lengthen, grow long through the spine, and exhale to fold, Uttanasana, bowing in. Let your feet be hip-width apart. You might use your own fists to measure about 2 fists between your feet. And as your toes point straight ahead, bend your knees, sit your hips back, and slide your palms to your thighs for chair pose. For this round of chair, as you sit your butt lower to the ground, can you guide your knees open towards those second and third toes? Now you might stay here with your hands. If you want to add a little heat in the upper body, maybe reach your arms up overhead. But listen for your breath. Take a deeper breath in and down. Stay for your exhale. Let your hips get heavy as you reach the crown of your head up towards where the wall and ceiling meet. Now inhale to come all the way to rise. Reach up to touch the sky. And on your exhale, fold, bowing in towards yourself. Keep your right foot forward, step your left foot all the way back to find your lunge, and your hands can come high onto blocks or fingertips on either side of your right foot. Wiggle the left toes back another inch, and as you keep your left hand connected, reach your right arm straight ahead towards the front of the room. Stretch forward through the right fingertips. Try to wrap your right hip back. Take a full breath in. And as you exhale, a big circle to start to turn open to the right. Let's do that twice more. Reach your right arm back and then forward. Breathe in. As you exhale, revolve open to the right. And now the third time you twist open, stay for a few breaths as your right arm reaches up towards the ceiling. As your chest turns, can you lift your back heel, knee, and thigh high? Wrap your right hip back, and then lean back against the steadiness you've created. A slower breath in, and a deeper breath out as you bend one more inch into your right knee. And on your next inhale, begin to unwind, lower your right hand, look forward, and all the hops you need to bring your left foot to meet your right. As you inhale, come up halfway to lengthen, grow long through the spine. And exhale to fold, bowing into yourself. Let your feet be hip-width apart one more time. And for the second round of chair pose, bend your knees, sit your hips back as you lift your heart up. Again, hands to your thighs, arms up overhead, or for a slightly different variation, you might interlace your fingers behind your head itself. Dart your elbows to the front of the room and press your head back into your palms. A big breath in. Stay for the exhale, set your hips 1 inch lower as you slide the skull back into your palms itself. And now inhale to come all the way to rise, reach up to touch the sky. And as you exhale, fold, bowing in. Second side with your left foot forward, step your right foot back through to lunge. Squeegee the right toes back another inch, and as you come onto blocks or fingertips, lift your chest and reach your left arm straight ahead. Take a few breaths here. Stretch forward through the left fingertips, but try to wrap your left hip back to the back of your mat. A big breath in. And on your breath, exhale to twist open to the left. 2 more times. Follow your breath more than my voice. Breathe in. And as you exhale, like a flower unfurling, twist open. Now the third time you twist open to the left, stay for a few breaths, reaching your left arm to the sky. Lift your back heel, knee, and thigh. Wrap your left hip back, and then think shoulder blades together and slide the ears back so your head rests upon your heart. A big breath in. Stay for 1 more exhale. And then inhale to unwind, lower your hands to your sticky mat and step it all the way back to downward facing dog. Pedal your heels from one side to the other. Take a breath to notice the difference. And with your hands as wide as your mat, inhale through to plank pose. Wait for your exhale to lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Drink in your breath as you rise, Cobra Bhujangasana. And on your exhale, take it back to downward facing dog. From your down dog, inhale, the right leg lifts up and back. Step your right foot through to find your lunge. And now pivot your hands and feet over to the left as you come into your wide-legged forward fold, facing the long edge of your mat. Your hands might be on blocks, you might be on fingertips, but to unlock the knees if they tend to lock out. And now without moving your feet, can you squeeze and hug your legs towards center? Feel the inner thighs engage. Take a big breath in as you are. And as you exhale, you might bend your elbows to the sides as you bow in towards yourself. But remember those feet. Each inhale, hug the legs to center. Each exhale, keep that steadiness as you bow in towards yourself. Good. Now with your head heavy, start to turn your right knee and toes to catch your lunge. Bring your hands to frame out your right foot. And as you heel toe your right foot an inch or 2 over to the right, wait for your inhale to rise for high lunge on the first side. Good. Lift your back heel high, stretch up through the fingertips, and now bend 1 more inch into that front knee. You might keep your hands overhead, or like you did in chair, interlace that awkward thumb or pinky on top, dart your elbows to the front of the room, and press your head back into your palms. Now think ribs back as you press your head back to maybe lift your gaze to where the wall and ceiling meet. A bigger breath in. Stay for one more exhale. Press your head back and use your hands to lengthen your skull towards the ceiling. And now slowly release your hands, tap the floor, and step it back to downward facing dog. A few more times together with those hands as wide as your mat. Wait for your inhale, come through to plank pose. Reach the crown of your head forward. Exhale to lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Slow breath in, rise, Bhujangasana. And on your exhale, take it back to downward facing dog. You might mentally locate your strap. We'll take this wide-legged forward fold with the shoulder stretch. So as you lift your left leg to the sky, step your left foot through to find your lunge. You might bring your strap with you as you pivot your hands and feet over to the right and come into Prasarita Padottanasana on the second side. You might unravel your strap from its little rubber band hair tie and go ahead and grab that strap between your hands somewhere at your low or middle back. I like to start about hip width apart, but as you bend your elbows quite a bit, hug your shoulder blades towards each other. And now keep the shoulder blades hugging as you reach your arms off of your butt towards the ceiling. Sometimes the elbows lock, sometimes the knees lock. So take a tiny bend in your knees, a tinier bend in your elbows, and you create some resistance. Try to tug your strap apart, hug the shoulder blades together as you bow in towards yourself, and maybe your arms reach overhead towards the long edge of your mat as you breathe. And now slowly release your hands back to your butt. Ditch your strap, we'll use it again later. Begin to turn your left knee and toes through to lunge. Heel toe your left foot an inch to the left. And on your inhale, take the time you need to rise for high lunge on the second side. That's it. As you keep your left toes and knees pointing ahead, lift your back heel, lift your back knee. Stretch up through the fingertips and now bend into that front leg. Stay right here, or this time, instead of bringing the hands to the back of your head, interlace your fingers and bring them to the top of your skull. Press your head up into your palms, and then press your palms down into your skull as you bend into that front leg. A big breath in. Stay for one more exhale to offer the breath out. And then slowly release your hands down to the floor. Step it all the way back to downward facing dog. Pedal your heels and notice what a difference feels like. And now on an inhale, last time together, come forward to plank. And this time, lower all the way down onto your belly. Once you're on your belly, make a pillow with your hands. Let your forehead or on one side of your cheek rest onto your palms. Close your eyes for a moment or two and call yourself back to your breath. Throughout the course of these few weeks, we worked our way up the entire body. The base of the spine governing the legs and the part of you that connects to the earth. The second chakra in the hips and in the low belly and back. The third chakra, the fire of the abdomen. The fourth, the lush vibrancy of your heart. The fifth, the sound and vibration of the throat. And the sixth, the sight that you see in between the eyebrows. And as we come to number 7, that seat of consciousness, the place that you place your awareness into, can you slow down your next breath in and try to lengthen the exhale out and notice what part of you can soften. Now you'll keep that connection to your breath as you reach your arms alongside of you. Turn your palms down to the floor and rest on your forehead or on your chin just for a moment. Now without moving your legs, can you press your feet down, hug your legs together as if they could become one lightning rod of energy. Press your palms into the floor. Hug the shoulder blades together. And for locust pose, as you breathe in, start to lift your head, your chest, float your arms up off of the ground, and a slow exhale to lift your legs. With your eyes soft or open, listen for your breath. Each inhale, hug your inner thighs towards each other, and think insides and inseams of your pants lifting. Now hug the shoulder blades together, lift your palms one more inch, a big breath in, and on your exhale, release as you lower down. You might rest on the other side of your cheek or the other palm on top. You might wiggle your hips from side to side or stay still. But offer it to your breath first and foremost, a deeper breath in and a longer breath out. After a few breaths on the ground, bring your hands to either side of your chest, press up through the tabletop. You might sit back onto your heels for a moment, sip some water, and I'll show you where we're about to go next. So spoiler alert, I gave it away for free in the beginning of class, but we're exploring some different variations of headstand. And now a couple of weeks ago when we did the throat, the thing that I mentioned is I never ever think about my neck or throat unless I have a sore throat or I'm losing my voice or something's going wrong. Same thing with the top of the head. I'm like, unless I've been wearing a ponytail for too many weeks, I never think about what's going on in here. And not often do we put a lot of weight or pressure. So what I want to start off with is seeing what it's like in a pose called Sasasana, rabbit pose. Weight on the crown of the head. We'll get some variations, and then we'll move on from this. So this is what it will look like. If you'd like a blanket, please feel free to bring a blanket in the middle of your mat. And in a moment, I'll talk you through this. You'll come to tabletop with your hands behind the blanket as wide as your mat. And now when you lower down, you don't want to think about coming onto the hairline, nor at the back of the skull, but very early we did that neck sensation to the very middle of the skull itself. That's where I want you to place the weight. So from tabletop, you grow forward, the bun. You grow forward, and as you bend your elbows, the crown of your head lowers to the ground. And now here's some very scientific math, yes? Sometimes when the crown of your head comes down, we forget about the hands. So I want you to think 180% of weight in the right hand, 180% of weight in the left hand, and like 76% of weight in the crown of the head, okay? So meaning you're trying to hug your hands together and hug your hands back towards your knees without moving them. You'll stay here for a few breaths, and then you'll come to child's pose, and then I'll show you the second round. Okay, if you have any head and neck stuff going on that you're like, Anisha, no, I have no interest in this, no obligation. You can work pressing weight, bring your hands to the top of your head and feeling that sensation. And also, child pose, a great place to let your head be below your heart for a few moments. But let's try this out. If you're moving into this variation of rabbit pose, if you'd like your blanket, grab your blanket. If not, ditch the blanket, but come to tabletop, please, with your hands as wide as your mat. Now, in your table, look to the front of the mat, reach your chest forward, and now start to bend your elbows to lower the crown of your head down onto the blanket or the mat. And now what's the math? 189% in the right, 189 in the left hand. Without moving them, hug your palms together. Without moving them, try to drag your hands back to your knees, and now breathe. A deep breath in, and a longer breath out. And now to come out, please do rest in child's pose for a few breaths. Move your butt towards your heels, let your head stay heavy. Take 3 deep breaths here as you are, before you make your way up to a seat. That looked good. How'd that feel? Lucky those who have just come for this class and this class alone. I know some of us have been together, but we only do headstand once a year. I know I say this for each pose. This is not normal behavior, but lucky you. Okay, so the next stage is do that again as many times as you'd like. The second time you do it, the more, I'm not promising comfort, but just some familiarity. You might be able to see the breath a little more fully. Or for the second stage, if you're like, okay, I want a little more weight, you come into tabletop. Now what I want you to think about is not bringing your hands close to your ears, but trying to create a triangle with your hands in your head. Do you see that make a difference? And now, mathematics, 197%, 197%. Squeeze them in. And now maybe the toes curl under as you lift your knees and hips up. This will immediately add more weight onto the crown of your head. And then only if you want, you can tap one knee towards your elbow, the other knee towards your elbow, before you do lower down and rest for a few breaths in child's pose. Yes? Okay, I'll talk you through that. Child's pose, not lifting the feet, any of the other variations are available to you. But come to tabletop, blanket or no, but let your hands come as wide as your mat, and now look forward. Take a big breath in. Open your mouth to let it out. Now as you reach your chest forward, bend your elbows and lower the crown of your head to the floor. You might walk your hands back as much as you need, so your head and hands are in a triangle. Hug your hands together, hug them back, and then maybe you curl your toes and lift your knees and hips up. Math, hands hug in, you breathe. Then maybe the right knee kisses your right elbow, you lower it down, and the left knee kisses your left elbow. When you've had your fill, you lower your knees, and you rest for a few breaths in child's pose before coming up to a seat. Whew. Nice, y'all. Okay. Headstand is one of those poses, one, out of the range of inversions, it has the most part of you is on the ground. Like headstand versus handstand. Handstand has only hands. This, you got another few points of contact. But also, a headstand is a pose where, like, why am I doing yoga? At least I am. I'm like, what am I doing in yoga class? Balancing on the head. But Shirshasana is thought to be called the king of poses, where you're balancing on your crown, where if inversions are a great strategy, that if your attention is wandering anywhere else, like what you're doing afterwards, what's going on tomorrow, that's when it starts to weeble. So anything for all that inversions offer, it's a moment in time to draw and hone your awareness in, because you can't think about anything else except for breathing and noticing where you are at the present moment. So let's come to downward facing dog for a moment longer. We'll revisit headstand in a second, but a couple more things to get to. So down dog, please, for a few breaths. As you lift your hips to the sky, take a deeper breath in and a longer breath out. Now on an inhale, lift your right leg up and back. Step your right foot to the outside of your right hand for your lizard lunge. Lower your left knee onto a blanket or onto the floor behind you. And bring your hands onto your fingertips or high onto blocks. We'll take this one into a thigh stretch. Keep your left hand connected. Bring your right palm to your right thigh. And like you did in that first twist, turn your chest open to the right. Now begin to bend your left knee. Lift your left back toes up off the floor. Stay here or reach your right hand around for the top of your left foot, or a strap, or the leg of your pants for a thigh stretch. But when you have a hold of the foot, hug your right shoulder up and back. Hug your left shoulder up and back. And now slide your ears back so your head is in line with your heart. A big breath in. Stay for the exhale as you offer that breath out and turn your chest open to the right. On your next inhale, look to the floor, release that back leg, plant your palms, and take it back to downward facing dog for a second longer. Now from your down dog, lift your same right leg up and back, the one that was just ahead in your lizard lunge. Step your right foot through to find your lunge. Come high up onto fingertips or blocks, and as you look forward, begin to walk your blocks or your hands forward of your right toes. And for supported warrior 3, lean into your blocks to lift your left foot up off the ground. Now flex your left foot. Straighten your left knee, and imagine like you could break through the wall behind you as you reach your left heel back and slide your heart forward. Stay here with your fingertips connected. Or the more you slide your ribs and belly back, maybe the fingertips get a little lighter on those blocks. Maybe it's just 4, 3, 2, 1 finger, or none. Maybe your hands come to your hips, or maybe they reach alongside of you like they did in locust pose, but a big breath in. Stay for the exhale as you offer that breath out. Now lower your hands to the blocks. Bend your right knee to tap your left toes back to lunge. Step it all the way back to downward facing dog. And notice any difference from side to side. For the last round, lift your left leg up and back. Step your left foot to the outside of your left hand. Take your time to lower the right knee onto any padding that you need. And coming up onto your fingertips or blocks, climb your left palm up onto your left thigh, the twisted thigh stretch first. Turn the belly and chest open to the left. And now bend your back knee to lift your right toes up off the floor. Breathe and be here. Or let your left hand reach around for the top of your right foot, the leg of your pants, or find a strap to lasso around the foot. But think shoulder blades, hug them together. Slide the ears back so your head is in line with your chest. A big breath in. Stay for the exhale and bend 1 more inch into your front knee. And now slowly, with care, release your back leg. Plant your palms, and we meet in downward facing dog for a breath longer. From your down dog, lift your left leg up and back. Step your left foot through to find your lunge. And as you come high up onto blocks or fingertips, look forward, reach your heart forward. And as your hands walk a block or 2 forward of the left foot, lean into your blocks to lift your right foot up off the ground. Virabhadrasana 3 with support. Try to turn your right hip and toes to face the floor. And as you reach back through your right heel, slide the crown of your head forward, breathing. Stay exactly where you are. Or as the ribs and belly slide back, maybe you come lighter on the fingertips. Maybe your hands come to your heart, to your hips. Maybe they reach alongside of you, or even overhead. But a big breath in. Stay for 1 more exhale. And now hands tap the earth as you bend your left knee to step it all the way back to downward facing dog. From your down dog, walk your feet to come as wide as your mat. A tiny bend in your knees. And slow and steady, 1 hand at a time, walk your palms back to meet your feet. So you fold somewhere at the back of your mat. Let your knees be soft here. Let your head be heavy. Your hands, they might touch the floor. You might grab opposite elbows. You might also interlace your hands behind your head. But take a full breath in through your nose and a deeper breath out through your nose or mouth as you bow in towards your own heart. Now a few breaths, climb your hands to your hips, stand through your legs, and a slow inhale brings you up to rise as you release your hands. We've made it. Let's come to the wall. We're going to close at the wall today. There should be plenty of room for all of us to fit around. The closet door is fair game, lots of room on all 3 walls, but you can bring all of your props with you. Yeah, we'll do some rolling after and some additional meditation afterwards too. I can also move these around. All these blankets, I got it. I know, and they stick into a blob. Finding room. Yay, thank you. Okay, great. It's been a long time since we have come to the wall in class. Sometimes I'm like, just time to lie down. We're getting there very soon. Okay, so in the service of different versions of headstand, Shirshasana, The one that I just taught you, where the hands were on the floor, is called that tripod headstand variation. Over the years teaching this pose, some people have very strong opinions in a good way of like, I love this one, I hate this one, I never want to do this one. So if you like that tripod variation, I really invite you, I'll talk you through it, I really invite you to continue. If you want something different, this one is, they have these long, beautiful Sanskrit names. It's like Shirshasana A, Shirshasana B. So Shirshasana B is forearms on the floor. This is what it'll look like in a second, and then you get to decide if and which variation you want to go into. So in a moment, you'll face the wall and bring your forearms down onto the floor. And here, your head will cup right in between your wrists or into the palm of your hands. So your head is connected, your wrists, your forearms, and your elbows are connected. Yes? And then the high buns get in the way. But then you'll take a few breaths here. You'll curl the toes under. And like you would in downward facing dog, you'll lift your knees and hips up. And now what's the math? Yes! Yes! A+. So much pushing into the forearms that if you wanted to, you could lift your head up off the floor. So head is simply grazing on the ground. There is weight, but you're not compressing into it. And then you walk it in with your knees bent, and completely optional to bring one heel to your butt, the other heel to your butt. You might, just like we did in Warrior 3, straighten one leg and do the other. And now you'll be very close to the wall. Yeah? So you might bring both feet to the wall. I'm doing 199 in the right, 199 in the left. Like I could lift my head up off the floor if I wanted to. Here, you come down. And I really suggest breathing, otherwise you will come up and see stars. And that's not the chakra that we're looking for, the chakra of blacking out, yeah? Questions about it? I'll talk you through that one. You get the options of tripod, forearm, 1 foot, both feet on the floor the whole time, or no feet on the floor. We'll do 2 rounds of it and you get to experiment. And I always like to say, if you saw that and you're like, it's Monday, she's talking about consciousness, the universe is in my own head, what's happening? A restorative inversion, Viparita Karani, is you bring your butt to the wall and you slide your legs up there. The hardest part of this one is ignoring what everyone else is doing around you. Yeah? And keeping your attention inward. Everyone has something they want to do? I'll talk you through it. Yes? I find this, for me at least, this one is because it creates this like triangle of support. When my hands for my body, when I'm in the tripod, it requires a lot more engagement in the shoulder blades, like dolphin pose. Do you mean different than these ones? Okay, yeah. I always like this one, but over the years, people will really come up to me after class and be like, why don't you teach the other one? I'm like, because I like this one. So either is a great variation. You get to decide, yeah? So come to face the wall. Maybe your legs come up the wall and you take a few breaths in that Viparita Karani. Or you lower your forearms down onto the floor. Your knuckles might be very close to the wall. Interlace your fingers. You might come into the tripod variation. But as you lower the crown of your head to the floor, take a breath. And now there's no rush. Curl your toes under and lift your knees and hips up. Stay here the whole time. Maybe you bend one knee, you bend the other. Maybe you straighten one leg. You're very close to the wall. So it might be a tiny little bunny rabbit hop to bring your butt and feet to the wall. Nice, Alex, bring your elbows a little close, like a lot closer together. Yes, even more like a triangle. That's it. And now press your forearms down. Walk it in, walk it in, walk it in, walk it in, walk it in. Breathe. And you're 1 inch away. That's it. Rest if and when you need. Between rounds, take breaks. Take a few breaths in child's pose. And see what comes up with your breath after each round. Nice, y'all. If you've done your first couple of rounds, you can come up to take a seat. Any questions, thoughts, concerns, conundrums? Hell yeah. The portal is open. Okay, so one last variation to play with, yeah? You can do exactly what you just did again. Maybe you take an extra breath or two there, a breath more than you did before, and see what that extra breath does. Or if you came up and you're like, okay, great, this feels like cake. You can work on, you'll come a little further away, and you can do this in either the tripod or the forearm stand one. You walk it in, you walk it in, walk it in, walk it in, walk it in so much that there's no hopping. And you lift your feet simultaneously, and then you lower your feet simultaneously. And then you lift your feet simultaneously, and you lower your feet simultaneously. You do that as many times as you want. Maybe 7 for the 7th chakra. And then you rest. Yeah? Sometimes dynamic movement in a still pose helps focus the attention and awareness. Sometimes it creates a distraction. So I give you options that you get to choose. Legs up the wall, child's pose, tripod, forearm stand, pike legs, one leg, no legs, all the legs. Call me over if you have any questions or need any support. But as you lower down, try to go with your breath. There's no rush. Walk it in, 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 walk it in. And what's the math again? 100 in the right forearm, 100 in the left forearm or palm, and 63% in the crown of the head. Whew. Breathe. See if you can breathe as you get upside down. And then anytime you want to come out, you rest in your child's pose, on your belly, in any place where you feel supported and connected to your breath itself. Nice, y'all. When you've had your fill, there's no rush whatsoever to come out or go in. By popular demand, everyone wants to be on their back, and so that's good, that's where we're going. But can you come to your back where your head is to the middle of the room, your feet face the wall, have your therapy balls, if you have them, within a grabbable distance. If you need some, I can bring some over to you. And also have one of your blocks close by. Anyone need therapy balls? Okay. And now just being mindful of your neighbors, you can set the therapy balls and the blocks off to the side. Come to lay onto your back, and now bend your knees as you bring both feet onto the floor. Let your legs rest into one another so that the weight of your legs supports the other. And bring your hands to your belly or onto your chest as you close or soften your eyes and take a breath. In this yoga practice, we stretch and align our bodies in different orientations to feel the outer limits of your skin, of your breath, and all that it is that you shift and touch. But ultimately, it's a practice of not trying to shift or change or alter who you are, but it's a practice of reminding you who you've always been, this breath-filled and expansive being. So can you take a longer breath in through your nose and open your mouth to let that breath out? Keeping your feet on the floor, knees bent, cross your right ankle over your left thigh for a supine figure 4. Do your best to flex your right foot to support your knee and ankle. And now stay here the whole time. Or you might lift your left foot, thread the needle, and bring your hands behind your left thigh, or loop a strap around your left thigh to hold on to. But flex through both of your feet, shrug your shoulders to the ears, wiggle the shoulder blades together, and gently press the back of your head down into the floor, breathing. just an option if you want. I know the strap was a little far, but I love this one. You'll thread it behind this thigh, in between your legs, across the ankle, and then tug. How's that feel? Good. Take a deep breath in. Stay for the exhale as you offer that breath out. And then slowly release the hold of your leg, uncross your ankles, you lower your feet to the ground. And just being mindful of your neighbors or props, drop both of your knees over to the right. Inhale to bring the knees all the way up through center. And even open your mouth to let it out as you drop your knees to the left. Now bring the knees slowly back up, cross your left ankle over the right thigh. Stay here as you flex the left foot, breathing. Or completely optional to thread a strap or interlace your awkward thumb or pinky on top behind the right thigh. Try to flex through those feet. Wiggle the shoulder blades together. And gently press the back of your head into the sticky mat as you take a deeper breath in and an even longer breath out. And now release your hands, uncross your legs as you give your legs a hug in towards your belly or in towards your chest. Make some small circles in one or the other direction. You might lean from one side to the other, but take a full breath in and a deeper breath out. Now release your legs down to the earth. Some options this afternoon. In a moment, we'll set up for Shavasana. You're more than welcome to meet there. Or for the last few breaths, getting therapy balls in the back of the skull. You can keep them in their tote or take them out. It's up to you. But you'll locate those two very bony points at the base of your skull, your occipital lobes. And those therapy balls can come right onto those 2 points, so above the neck at the base of the skull. I find if I don't hold them, they tend to slip, so you might gently drop your elbows to the sides, but slowly start to nod your head yes, and very gently begin to nod your head no. And as you take a full breath in through your nose, try to even open your mouth to let all of that breath out. And now after a few breaths at the base of the skull, you might come up a little higher, bring the therapy balls to the center in the middle of your skull itself. Close together or wider apart if they're out of the container. And then slowly start to nod your head yes and no. When you nod your head no to the right, you might nod your head yes when you're there. And vice versa to the left, even opening and closing your mouth. To notice what you feel in the jaw, in the cheeks, and in the tongue. And now after a few breaths, slowly release those therapy balls off to the side and let the weight of your head soften to the earth. You might take a breath into what you don't ordinarily see, but you can more than clearly feel. And this time, the next place to meet is in your pose of rest, in Shavasana itself. So here, we're set up at the wall for a reason. If you'd like, to wiggle yourself close so that the balls of your feet caress the wall. It'll create a sense of grounding, of connectedness. You might have your legs up the wall if you so choose, with your hips close to the wall. You might be lying on your back, curled onto your side, or laying onto your belly. But allow for your eyes to soften or close, so you can listen here for your own breath. As you let yourself arrive in your pose of rest, after engaging all of the senses, the breath that you have, the body that supports you, It's here as you rest, where you allow for the awareness to draw slightly more inward, traveling the journey of all of the chakras from the molten red at the base of the spine, from that liquid orange swirling around the hips, yellow like the rays of the sun in the center of your belly, emerald green of the heart, the cerulean blue that coats the throat and the sides and back of the neck, to the indigo and violet that paints behind the eyelids. We come to the crown of the head, where the thousand-fold lotus resides. It's here, the place that you experience the divine itself, and the way the divine pours itself in you, as you, and through you. So as you allow for the splendor of your breath to let your entire body soften into the earth, the heavier your body becomes, the more expansive, the more transcendent, and the more spacious you might just start to feel. Begin to deepen your breath. Take a longer breath in and a sweeter breath out. Take another breath in and down so it fills you up. And exhale to offer all of that breath out. Let your breath slowly awaken the body that you're in with any gentle movement that feels supportive to you. You might roll your wrists or your ankles in one or the other direction. Perhaps you tip your head slowly from one side to the other, connected to its support. Or being mindful of any props or those around you, you might reach your arms away from your legs or draw your knees in towards your chest. But when the time comes, you can bend your knees down the wall or up the floor, stretch your arms overhead, and let's all roll over onto the right hand side to curl off of your back. With the least amount of effort required, press into the floor and come up to rise to a seat facing the middle of the room. If you'd like to sit with your back up to the wall for some added support, please feel free to do so. with your eyes softly opened or closed, take another breath in and down. And as you exhale, offer the breath up and out through that 1,000-fold lotus. Sahasrara chakra, the element of thought, the color of white or gold or rainbow. Seeing how you see the greatness of yourself as the greatness of you itself. To close our practice, we'll finish with one more of those breaths. You can bring your hands to center where that feels for you. Take a deep breath in to offer all of it out. You might bow your head to your heart or lift your hands towards your head in such a simple but profound gesture of self-reverence, bowing to yourself and to one another who practiced alongside with you. And I bow to each and every one of you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you. It's done. Drink water, take very good care of yourselves and each other. I have no idea what we're going to do next week, but requests will be open. After 7 weeks of doing something, it's like, what comes next? But something will emerge. My one non-yoga related announcement, if you haven't heard of the show Girl Doll, has anyone heard of it? Girl Doll. Okay. It's happening at the Fringe Arts this week. One friend and her friend, Jackie Soro and Pax Wexler. It's the production of the Bearded Ladies production. It is about their lifelong relationships with the American Girl dolls. I never had one, but I always wanted one. I saw it yesterday. I'm trying to go see it again like 4 times this week. It was the single greatest thing that I've ever seen. It's not sponsored by American Girl Dolls. It's very clear on their webpage. It is both a musical performance and a deep commentary on what it means to be an American girl. The 2 performers are both queer. I don't want to give it away, but if you do get to go, I highly suggest it because it's phenomenal. It's at Fringe Arts all this week, and the last show I think is on Sunday. If you Google Girl Doll Fringe Arts, I don't know where else to direct you. Sorry, no bingo for that either. But if you're looking for some fun art stuff to see, there's sometimes when I look at people who create art where I'm like, how do we live on the same earthly plane? How does your brain think about this? And it's been a show that's 4 years in the making, and now it's like on production. It's so good. Anytime. I cannot gush more about it enough, but go. Support the arts. Go, please. But that's it for me. I'm teaching the yoga. Mariel's teaching the yoga at the Art Museum. John came on Saturday. It was so lovely to see. There's free yoga at the Art Museum, free yoga at the Sculpture Garden. Yes, at the Sculpture Garden, but also Ray Street Pier and Cherry Street Pier. My workshop starts tonight, so if you want to double down, come into 3 Queens. Twice in one day. There is a stamp for that if you come twice in one day. Not me bribing you with bingo cards. But otherwise, I'll see you guys soon. Does anyone else have announcements? I know I had so much. Yes?
This Saturday, we're having a Eurovision, which is Europe in Grace.
Oh.
Watch party at 7 Spring Garden at 2 o'clock in the afternoon because it takes place in Europe.
Right.
2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's $20. We're having deli sandwiches, potato chip vegetables, and junk. The booze for sale, only $5.
Ah,
It's being held by the German Society of Pennsylvania.
cool.
7 Spring Garden, I've been a member since 1933.
Oh.
Although I'm not that old. My grandfather and great-grandfather were members.
Amazing. Thank you.
And I want to make this announcement. I'm not a Nazi.
Oh,
I'm anti-fascist. Make that clear.
yes.
No matter what I wear, I'm an anti-fascist.
Yes. And Eurovision.